Hello and welcome to another Here's a Storm Quick Tip. Today I wanted to go over your role in a given matchup. And so in this case, I'm going to talk about the tank matchup here on Towers of Doom. It's between Diablo and Garrosh. So normally what you want to do with Diablo, you want to look for picks, or if you want to take an engage, you want to look for someone far enough out and squishy enough that you can shadow charge them, ideally into a wall, flip them, and your team can follow up and blow them up before the enemy has a real chance to respond. For Garrosh, what they want to do is mostly come out of bushes or at odd angles, mounted, run up to you, throw you back into their team, and watch their team delete you while this guy walks out. They can also just walk at you and pop unstoppable, and if you aren't respecting their positioning, they'll throw you. So this creates a bit of a quandary. Garrosh is typically considered a hard counter to Diablo because if you charge in and the Garrosh is on the ball, he's going to throw you back into the remaining enemy team members, isolating you from your group, and usually providing enough peel for the kill target that they'll get away and the Diablo will die or be significantly chunked out. Obviously, if you fight near structures, this can be even worse, because if you get thrown in tower range, just like any hero, you have a high chance of dying. So what happens is, usually in this kind of game, you end up with a game of cat and mouse, as it were. So, in this case, you have the Diablo player. He's trying to look for not picks, but rather what his counter engage is going to be if the Garrosh steps up and throws one of his team members. How is this person, if they can, going to save their teammates? And if the answer is they can't save their teammates, who is the counter kill? Because that's the thing. This dichotomy where Garrosh wins only works for as long as you don't have your buttons up. As long as you have your buttons up and a target, and your team knows what's going on, you can counter engage and get a counter kill. And that's actually one of the best ways to play Diablo into comps that can shut him down and delete him normally. So in this case, you can see my teammate got shoved in. I saw that their team was not in any real... there's no real chance they were going to get a kill here unless the mine booped him back in. So instead, I go after the Garrosh, and I see it as we can potentially kill the Garrosh, or worst case, we chunk him and then force him to back up. In which case, then we can advance on our own terms. So I get the charge, I get the flip. You can see we come very, very close to killing him. He's forced to burn another cleanse on top of his initial unstoppable. And so now what happens is, other than holding this position, I'm telling them, hey, wait until my cooldowns are back up. And the reason for that is so we can look for an engage. I was a little too concerned about this, to be honest. I wasn't particularly looking at this part of the map. But my teammate gets out, and again, because I have my buttons up, I didn't spend them earlier, I can go ahead and we can counter engage on the Garrosh. And even if Sage had died here because of that, that would mean the entire enemy team is busy killing him. And so the remainder, we can all focus our efforts on Garrosh. And so even though Garrosh is a chunky boy, when you isolate him and have 3 heroes, including a good like DPS, sustained DPS, like a Sylvanas, you can still kill him without any real issue. And so I hope that gives just a base. I understand that's just a basic line example of how that matchup's going to play out, and it's not necessarily going to be the same for everybody. But I just wanted to give you an idea of you want to look at your role in a given matchup, and even in ones where you are countered by your counterpart on the enemy team, you want to look at ways to break that up and put it either back in your favor if you can't figure a way out to do that, or you just can't. Then figure out your best plan of action to punish the enemy team as a whole. You don't have to punish that specific hero, but if you get value when they engage upon you, then you're making up the difference in your particular matchup loss. I hope that makes some sense, and I wish you have a great day.